Hello everybody, my name is Rick, and we're gonna just start coding again this Wordle game that I've put together. I mentioned in the last episode that there was something that I was curious about with regards to this game. One is the word is currently hard-coded, so I can only play this word here, aroma. And so here I am, I'm going to play it. Hello? Sparks. Nope, spark. And rose. Oh, that's a good one. Aroma. But if I wanted to play a different word, well, clearly I would need the dictionary to be working at this point. But one of the things that we do a lot in development is just make use of environment variables that we can control offline. So when I run this game, I say Swift run, but an environment variable can be something like this: puzzle word, and let's make a new word, earth. And when Swift run executes my game, this environment will be a part of it. And what that means is I could maybe conceivably put something here that says the correct word is, let's say, puzzle word environment. So the thing is, this is a technique that I use a lot in other programming languages. It's just getting the word from the environment. And I went offline to look for this technique. So here's me looking for docs in the doc Swift, and I put in environment. And I don't see anything here. There is the notion of the scheme here where I can, let's wait for this to come up and I'll show you. There is the notion of arguments being put here, but then it's encoded into my project. In fact, I'm gonna put that. Yeah, I actually don't know how to get it from here. So I've already mentioned that I generally want, for learning something new, I try to avoid Stack Overflow and just wide Google searches, just because it can be very confusing. I generally will just look for stuff on the vendor's site, and over time I've learned to do searches. Like, for example, I found in the forums.swift.org, I found that there's a environment variable that discussions of that when I do a search for environment variable. I found this post and I bookmarked it, and I see here that this exists here, ProcessInfo. So if I put this into Xcode, .environment, gonna say that it says it can't find process info, but if I look for it, maybe in here, well, I've already done it. I've done this search, but if I was confused about this, I can go into the quick help, and it can't find it, but I can search the documentation, which if you notice, this is a new window that I've not seen before. It's almost like a separate browser window of the full documentation for Apple development. So here you can see Swift UI, but also Foundation. And if I put in process info here, there it is. There's some information here in Foundation, and I'm going to click on that, and you can see it's part of Foundation. And Foundation, I've not really talked about this. Again, I'm just learning on my own. It's like the layer, it seems like a lower level layer. We're programming in Swift, but underneath it is this other layer, Foundation. And we of course need to bring this in. It doesn't quite show how, but very similar to our test cases where we've had to do an import. That's what we'll need to do here. So we can do something like this. Now this is available, and here now it's complaining about something else, a familiar issue that we've had before, which is that the value of the optional type must be unwrapped. This is that coalescing problem where we have to use the question mark. So I'm gonna put that right here. Oh, they even have a fix here. I'm gonna click fix, and I'll put the default value will be aroma. So again, this is one way to do it, and I'm gonna run this where the puzzle word is earth, and I'm gonna put in aroma, and now you can see it's not the puzzle word. The puzzle word is something else entirely. Fleet? No. I mean, we already know it's earth. I'm just gonna make a game of it. Etchy. And earth. So this little nicety is just a this little nicety is something for testing, and I like the idea of, I like having stuff like this in programs so that it is easier to test, even though we're not testing it using the XC test case. So that's just something small that I was working on. If I do a git status, the only thing that's changed is this. Don't know what that is. Swift.pm. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But I will do a diff of this, and I see. Okay. So we're gonna add this into our code base. Adds ability for adds. So that's one thing that I've been thinking about offline is just adding this environment variable. Open up this to do, and I think it was like 3, 2. Yeah. And the other thing was, this is ahead of the dictionary, is guess counter guesses here. It says you got it in 1, you got it in 2. We can make a little function here to announce some message based on the number of guesses that you've done it in. And for that, we'll just we'll pass in the guess counter here and say something like this. In-game message is not in scope, but I think if I click on this, yeah, see how it doesn't offer me any kind of help on this? Well, I will come here, and this time I'll put here end game message. And this will be guess count. And for this, I'll say we could have in Swift, there should be the ability to do a switch statement, which would be the right thing for this. Yeah. Wow. The switch statement in Swift is considerably more powerful than its counterpart. Let me see if that's the case. Every possible value of the type being considered must be matched. Yeah, so we're gonna do something like this, and let's just code it up. I think it's yeah. Here I say and I'm just going to print the end game message. Amazing. Notice there's no implicit fall through. That's to match and ignore a particular case. So that's interesting. Yeah, there's no fall through. That's something different from when I was learning switch in other languages. You do have to break it or else it'll fall through. So I'm just gonna copy this. We'll just make some small messages here I know this one is good work, and this one is you get it in 4. I think it says fantastic, but this is our game, so we can make it whatever we want. Fantastic. And 4 guesses. Notice we can get away with the label here. Now it says the switch must be, exhaustive. Do you want to add a, oh, look at that. See with the exclamation point there, then it offers me this fix it, and I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to, exhaustive, huh? I'll just put here, print. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. I should be able to now it's complaining about my missing argument label. Oh, when I call it. Now when I run this thing, let's pick a different word now. Socks, that's a hard word. It's a difficult word, but I'm going to get it in 1. Amazing. I'm going to do it again, but this time in 2. Theme. Socks. Wow, 2 guesses. So you can see that this switch statement is working, and that's really that was the goal of this piece. So let me go and pop that in to Git. I maybe want to make this it matches the correct word, so it should really be indicate something about that you've won the game, or that you've gotten the word correct word message. I'll name this small. Boy, that would be devious word. Holes. ovals. Great, you got it in 3 guesses. So now I'm gonna add this in. Correct word message. Now, finally at the part where we gotta deal with the dictionary, and what I'll do is, when I started thinking about this, I realized that the dictionary would have to come from it would have to come from a file. There would have to be a file of words. So there would be a file here. Let's call it let's just call it valid WordleWords. And we're gonna just put words in there. Let's just start with these that are here. Grail, track, ramp, crabs, crazy, craze. What else? Cured, walks, cramp and aroma. And audio toads about. Baton. Now, these would be the, let's just call this a word list. And there's only, how many in here? 14. So clearly what we'll need to do is read this inside of this thing. Make this interact with dictionary, get correct word. So we can have a class, let's call it Wordle dictionary, and it could have some functions like load file, load dictionary file, or load words. And they could also have another function that represents valid word, because in the game loop we're going to check for a valid word when we do the prompt. So when we enter in a word, not only does it have to be 5 letters, it also has to be a word in the dictionary. So it'll have to say not in the dictionary. And I was thinking about this and thinking, oh, I know exactly how we would do this in Python. We would put it in a file, and then we would read that file. Then we would use that file and add each word into a appropriate collection. I was thinking we could use, I don't know, the dictionary, for example, or even the set, which I think offers, a good fast way to get at the word. We can compare, and this is something that we can learn about these collections in Swift. So I thought, okay, let me go and start reading about how to read a file. And in the Swift programming language, about file I/O. I put in file, and there's all stuff here about the source file, the file organization, even the basics, but nothing about reading a file. And coming from a pure Unix background, this is something that was very confusing for me, that it wasn't like, it wasn't one of these items that was here. Like there should be something here that says file IO. But we do have Foundation, and Foundation has, if I clear the filter, Foundation has what seems to be some opportunity for doing files. There's stuff here with the file management, and then there's this thing here, FileHandle. Like, oh, I know what a FileHandle is, because that's Unix. That's pure Unix. Then you can read it from a path and close a file. But just the fact that this wasn't immediately for writing to, just the fact that this was not readily available was just quite, I guess, distressing, or it just was weird that hey, wait a minute, we've got this gigantic library and I can't read quickly how to open a file. And I put it into Swift forums, and I found a few posts. I think this was the one, but I think this is the first one that I read, 19139. Yeah, like this is like the very first one that I had read. And if I go all the way to the top here, somebody was saying, hey, I'm just trying to read a file line by line. And look at this. I tried to slurp the whole file into a string, and then I'll split things by line. I was unable to get through the first step. Then there's this Apple developer documentation. And then somebody here then writes, hey, just use this. But let's let me just put this into here, like let's first make a separate file in Wordle called Wordle Dictionary. It's already added to the Wordle. Let's make it DICT or Wordle. Let's make it WordleWords, because we're going to do WordleWords.load and WordleWord.check. So this would be a good class name. And you see how it's already imported Foundation, like as if it knows what I'm about to do. So I'm sensitive to the fact that this got added. This is going to be tough to type. I'm a touch typist. The W and the O's together like that. The W, RDL. That's a. Well, let's put it this way. I'm getting a lot of practice. Then, comments here. Let's say class WordleWords init for this, I think we'll just make it be empty. And so now watch this. If I put in this code, brother, I should have how do I do a function again? Yeah, function. Load words, WordleWord.load, load list. No, let's just make it load. And here, look at that, desktop file.txt. Errors thrown from here are not handled. I think I can fix that. No, it doesn't give me any help here. Okay, so this try, I believe it needs to be, let's put here, catch. I think it's called catch. Yeah, so error handling. So if I go here to error handling, yeah, so there's a throw here, and there's a way to handle errors. To identify these places, write the try keyword before a piece of code that calls a function. I'd like to see a example. Yeah. Try. Oh, okay. I think I just have to say throws. I think that's what my mistake was. I think. Let's see. Yeah, that was it. Now, here I think it's going to fail with the trying to read this thing. So let's just run this. Oh, and we need to call this thing. So already we'll need to move this getCorrectWord to be in that previous class, WordleWords, but I'm just going to put this here in main. Yeah, I'm now thinking this main file should just be completely clean and empty of other functions. But let's call it. I'll put here. Let's put here WordleWords. Now, load. It didn't seem to want that. This is the only public function. For example, let's see if that helps it. WordleWords. Done. Oh. Okay, I'm going to say I'm going to have this big global. We'll come to grips with that. WordleWords. And I'm going to say it's a new one, and I'm going to say WordleWords.load. Let me just make sure I didn't need that public in there. if I run this thing with aroma, oh, I'm already having problems. Did you mean to use try? Did you mean to handle error as an optional value? I'm going to put here try. Did you mean to disable error propagation? I wish I could look at all of these things, but I am going to say try here, fix, and let's see. Well, that seemed to let it go through. So if I do run, it should fail. It should throw an error. Yeah. The file testfile.txt couldn't be opened because there's no such file. And then it's going to say, oh, user Rick desktop. So this is encouraging. I'm just going to put here that the URL is, see how it has the home directory. I'm going to guess I can put in string contents of. Let's go look at this under, no wait, I have this. Swift string, and there should be a init. Nope. I already forgot the example. String contents of. So there should be an init contents of. And actually, why am I doing it this way? I can just do contents of. I'll do a search this way. Swift standard library. Are these the only choices here? Well, these are Coca bindings. Don't know what that is. String. Oh boy, this is deprecated. So, I'm surprised this didn't call it out then, but I'm using contents of. Oh wow, look at this, people. Wow, that's fancy. I might be able, if I squint, I might be able to see the thing I'm looking for. Contents of. And it doesn't give me anything. Oh, but it's a URL, which I think this is what this was doing. Yeah, see, the URL is here. URL with path. But basically what I want is now to get this word into a place where I can read it. I'm going to update this to say, what's in my folder here? Let's say projects Wordle CLI. So projects Wordle CLI, and see, this I don't think is the right way, because if we were to ever ship this code, it would just need to live with the binary, and there's all that we have to think about. But you could see where this is kind of already way in the weeds of what we're trying to do. But let's keep going, because I think we're almost at the point of running this thing, I'm going to hear valid WordleWords. And if this works, then we should see all the words printed. Look at this file enumerate lines. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so we got it. And what we'll then do is we'll have a structure here. Watch this. We'll do, that's empty. We'll have here a well, first let's save this. Let's save this. This is still the word aroma, by the way. But let's keep going a little bit more. Now, I put here in the tmux window the time. Normally I don't have it here, so that when we're watching this 8 years from now, it'll just be a mystery and we'll have to look at the YouTube timestamp. But this is from this configuration here. Where I've modified the status to display the timestamp, but here I'm going to reset it. And now you don't see the time down here. More words. Git add. Git div. Feels like a mouthful to do all this. I don't even know if I need that word there, but I will. Let's add this one. Sources. Get this file name here. And I want to cite this post here. It's not somewhat hard-coded. So that'll have to be looked at. And then I want to, before I commit main, I just want to see if I can get rid of the actual type declaration. I mean, that's just trying to maybe be less redundant, but I'll have to think about that. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is inside of WordleWords, we're going to have just, and we're going to save this for the next time. We're going to have a collection of words that we'll then be able to reference with the other functions. Like in addition to load, we're going to have is valid word. We're going to also have one, we're going to move or get rid of correct word. We'll still use the environment because I do like that, but we're going to put that function into the WordleWords pool, and then finally we'll have the no, I think those are the only two that we need, but we will need to contend with loading in more words, and that'll be, we'll see how much we get tomorrow, but we're cooking now. We're cooking. We're almost close to making the puzzle be really random. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll just catch everybody next time.